Society needs God more than ever today. Right? I'm seeing so much stuff. People committing suicide. Crazy things becoming normalized. So much crap going on. And it's all normal. And people are like, it's happening for all these different reasons. It's happening because of this, that, and that. Except not denying why it's actually happening. I watched this YouTube video like not too long ago, like literally before recording this. That's why I'm recording this. There was this 10-year-old kid that committed suicide because he was bullied in school. Alright? So, I don't care where you come from, what your belief system is, but if you live in a society where a 10-year-old decides to kill himself, the most purest of us, the happiest of us, that tells you something is seriously damn wrong. Seriously wrong, bro. Seriously wrong. And honestly, I believe that's because we don't have God in today's society. Alright? It's not a priority anymore. And then whenever you bring up this, people are like, oh, it's because of other things and this, that. I'm like, we need to have more, I don't know, meetings and stuff. No, it's because we don't have God in today's society. It's as simple as that. We don't have God in today's society. Simple as that. This kid, he killed himself because he was getting bullied. Like, the school board wouldn't do anything about it. So as I was saying, this kid, he was bullied, alright? And because of that, he decided to take his own life, alright? And honestly, when you look at today's society, right? If there is no reason to be good, alright? There's no obligation to do that, whether you want to do it or not, right? Naturally, I'm not gonna lie, like, why should I be good? Why should I not screw it with others? Why should I not try to, like, destroy other people's lives for my benefit? If ultimately there's no benefit to doing it for myself, why shouldn't I do it? Alright? In fact, if there's no moral reason to be good, to do something good, right? If there's no reason to do that, if there's no benefit to doing that, why should I do it? Because I want to be a good human being? Screw being a good human being. Why should I do it? Why should I push myself to be a good human being when I could just screw others and put everyone under the bus for my own benefit? To help me get higher. To help me advance. Right? If I see my competitor, if I see my friend is drowning, but I know if I stick a hose in his mouth, the competition's going to become less, and there's an easier way for me to become better, why shouldn't I do it? Why shouldn't I do it? Screw him. Do you see how bad it is when there's no reason or higher purpose to have proper morals in society? This is the problem with atheism. This is the problem with just not having a true, genuine belief in God's existence. That is 100% definitely real. 100%. And if you don't believe this, at this point, it's your personal issues. I have tried so many times to try to understand the atheist perspectives of their points and views as to why I'm Christian. The God that the Bible talks about isn't real. I've tried every perspective. It doesn't make sense. Everything points to Jesus being God. Alright? So, honestly, if you're atheist right now, right, it's your own problem. Face your own problems. It's either your own problems with why he doesn't do certain things to involve himself with society right now. Why doesn't he come down and stop wars? Why doesn't he come down and show himself to us all the time? Those are your personal issues. It's not a matter of evidence right now. There's more than enough proof to not question his divinity. Alright? So face your own issues as to why this is. If it's because you didn't have a father growing up, so you can't trust a figure like that easily. If it's because you have a problem with how he involves himself with society, deal with it. Figure it out. But don't blame it on God, because it's your problem. And if you look at it detailed, 90%, no, not even 90%, all of the problems that we complain about are problems we create. That God's not even obligated to come down and solve. Alright? It's very childish, this approach. Like saying, oh, wars we started, why doesn't he come down and stop it? Problems we created, why doesn't he come down and stop it? Stop blaming God and start blaming yourself. Alright? Because that's your problem too. There's no responsibility in today's society with our own actions. It's just blaming each other and blaming everyone else because we don't want to face the facts that we don't hold up to the standard that we want to be. So instead what we do is just blame each other. Come up with any other reason rather than to humble ourselves and say, damn, I screwed up. My bad. My fault. I'll do better. Because we're not obsessed with actually becoming better people as a society for God. We're all focused on holding an image that's as fake as you can think. But anyways, back to the point. Society needs God because when there isn't God, there's no reason to hold morals. There's absolutely no reason to hold morals. There's no reason to just be cannibalistic towards each other for our own benefit. Absolutely no reason. There's no reason to differentiate proper morals from the wrong morals. There's nothing stopping us from being who we want to be, even if it's not good, right? Because society says, you do you. What if me being me is being a serial killer? Why not? There's no higher power moral standing saying that what I'm doing is wrong, so why not? You see the problem with this? And I feel like that's kind of what happened here, alright? People not believing that there's a certain standard to hold because there are real consequences to our actions here and in the thereafter, alright? That we need to consider with our everyday actions. We need to consider, have to consider. And because those things aren't considered every day with how we conduct ourselves throughout society, right? It leads to people doing whatever the hell they want without considering, damn, I shouldn't do this. I don't think I should do this. Maybe what I'm doing is wrong. Because there's no moral definition saying who's right and who's wrong. That's why we need God. Because if we had God, I'm saying if to like fit the perspective of someone that thinks God doesn't exist, right? Which he does. If we didn't have God, what makes one person more right than another? What makes one thing more right than another? Chaos. It would just be chaos. Everyone's right. It doesn't matter what you think is wrong. Crimes shouldn't be wrong because it's just your belief that what he did was wrong or what she did was wrong. There's no morals in a godless society, and you see that so much today. So much today. We're just self-absorbed with our everyday what we're doing, and we don't care to look behind us and say, What's the person behind me doing? What's the person next to me doing? How are they doing? Because all we're obsessed with is just progress, progress, progress. I need to become better than everyone else. I need to become better than everyone else. I don't care if you're suffering. How thick is my wallet looking right now? Everything's just money, sex, and having a bigger dick than the person next to you. Which is so stupid. So incredibly stupid. Because nothing here matters. Because God is real. Alright? God is 100% real. Everything He promised to us is real. If you just open your eyes a little and look, you see it's all real. If you take... I won't even say that. But like, if you take the planks out of your eyes and just try to see from an open heart, an open-minded perspective, what God has left for us to analyze and see, you see that it's all real. And you see that all the morals that He left us behind, all the ethical lessons He left us behind, He left us because He's coming back, alright, are very true. Alright, they say love your neighbor, love your enemy. Don't disrespect other people with how you speak. Love each other. Love each other. Instead of that, we focus on such menial things. Such menial things. It blows my mind. You care about what shoes or shirt this guy's wearing rather than what human being he is. What human being she is. What this guy's doing for work. I know some people that literally base the value of people on what their level of education is. Saying homeless people are like worthless because their level of education isn't high enough. We put our own menial problems over people's much bigger problems. A lack of selflessness we have today. Just selfishness. Pure selfishness and greed. Care about our own popularity amongst people we don't even like. Sorry about that I cut off, but back to the point I'm trying to make. I'll just make it quick and simple. Don't want this video to be too long. When there's no moral standard for what society should do, right, then there's no reason to not just do whatever there is for your benefit and your benefit alone, regardless of the person, of anyone else's suffering. You know? It's like, because there's no higher moral standard that I should obey for a logical reason, right? That I'm a part of, right? Why shouldn't I try to just benefit myself in any way that doesn't fit society's moral standards of what they believe to be good, you know? Because morals without purpose behind them, without a reason to follow them behind them, are empty and meaningless. That is why you need God. That is why we need Him. That is why a society without Him crumbles. When the USA was basically at its peak, they were built on Christian moral values. Alright? Literally the schools, they would have mandatory Bible teachings. Ever since then, secularism filled the gap. Because when you don't fill your heart with God, fill your morals and your society with God, the devil creeps in. And you see that exactly happen. A lot more greed has filled in. If you look at a lot of the streets in America, they're all filled with homeless people that are shooting up drugs, all right? You see a bunch of people that are just trying to become famous in Hollywood, sleeping with managers to get higher up in the rankings, so they can become the next famous actor just to get another high that's going to end after 2 months, and then say, after getting all this money and all this fame, I'm still not happy. In fact, I'm more depressed. Because only in God we find our happiness, and only in God can we have a functioning society that won't crumble. And because the devil has filled in this gap that was left behind, you have the states are just crumbling, all right? In fact, it feels like the whole world has almost abandoned God. And look, the whole world is going to crap. We have tons of wars, not just a few wars, a lot of wars going on. I know the main one right now is Palestine and Israel, but if you stop looking through this glass tunnel of yours and take away the shades, you see that there's a lot more going on than you actually know. And the reason why, and I strongly believe, is because we don't have God in today's society. There's no moral reason for one country to not try to be better than the next. To not try to be better than the next country, even if it's at the cost of people's lives. People's well-being, their health. Things that are more important than money. Yet, people still deny, we don't need God. We need science. We don't need God. I'm not saying science is not important. If you look at my room, a lot of stuff here is because of science, right? But I'm saying we need a lot of stuff. We need a lot of things in life to survive the way we do and live our lives the way we do. But that doesn't mean you don't need God. Because we have science doesn't mean we don't need God. Alright? In fact, it proves that we need Him more than we ever do. It's because we tried science. We tried just trusting ourselves and our own understanding of everything. And look where that's led us. More homeless people than ever before. Morals in society being corrupt. Alright? Children being mutilated because they're being convinced by their own teachers at school that they don't know if they're a boy or girl. And you sit there and tell me, no, we don't need God, we need science. Science has fucked us, respectfully. Forgive me. But that is the truth. Alright? We relied too much on our own understanding, and it screwed us in the end. It screwed us so bad. So bad. So bad to a point where we can't even see our own screw-ups. Our own wrongdoings behind our actions. Behind our infinite faith that we have into our own understanding and not in God. You're literally putting your faith in science, not God. Putting your faith in our own understanding, not God. Because we always think we know better. It's always a measuring contest. It's like, oh, my thing's bigger. I know better. I don't need God. I need me. I need money. I need bitches. What? You need God. That's what you need. You need God. More than anything. You need Him more than the air you breathe. Do you know why this generation of mine, Gen Z, even the next, actually not even the next, they won't even have these memories. Do you know why we're so obsessed with nostalgia, and these memories of the past? It's because back then things at least had an essence of godly values in them, alright? When you're walking down a road and you're vulnerable, you don't have to look over your shoulder to see if someone's gonna try to hurt you. Instead, back then, it felt like no one's against you. All right, we're all friends in this. All right, we all love each other. There's no bitter hate between each other. But because of this lack of God, we're holding grudges between each other. We're holding pointless grudges between each other. Like literally at the gym the other day, this old man, he told this young kid, he was doing the weights, like the fly machine, I don't know if anyone knows that, and he slammed the weights a bit hard. And the old man in a kind way was just like, hey, relax, you're gonna break the weights, man. The kid could have just been like, I'm not even gonna say kid, this guy looked like he was above 18 years old. The young adult, instead of just saying, hey, sorry about that, my bad, I'll be a bit more gentle. Normal answer, right? There's no measuring context. There's no pride needed. Screw pride. Be humble. Leave your ego. Be humble. Learn from others. Submit. There's no shame in that. In fact, it takes more strength to do something like that. Alright? Screw what other people tell you. Deny the world. There's no need for pride. Be humble. Humble yourself. Anyways, back to that situation. And then, after he told him that, he started just telling him, the old man, he's like, screw you, I'm not gonna listen to you. Like, so much more swear words that I don't want to say. But he was basically just cursing him for saying, just trying to like say, be careful with the weights. Cursing him. Curse his own life. He's like, you're not, like, I don't remember the exact words, but he was like, he's basically devaluing his life. He's like, you ain't SHIT. You ain't that. You know? He's like cursing him, saying your life isn't worth anything, all because this guy is looking out for you. Just saying like, don't slam the weights too hard. Like, you see how when you let the presence of the devil come in instead of God, how it ruins society so much. Pride, ego, all these things fill in pride, ego, greed, hatred towards one another, mistrust. All these things fill in the gaps. And because of that, what do you have? A crumbling society with no morals. Kids killing themselves. Kids mutilating themselves because adults are telling them it's okay to. That's a society we live in today. A godless society. One where we have belief in science. And you tell me which is better. And if you're still questioning whether we have God in our society or don't have God in our society is better, you need to see a psychiatrist or something. Alright? I'm not even judging at this point. It's just basic facts. Things were better when we had God in society. Things were much, much better. Things were so much better. So much better. So much better. Ever since we decided to become a secular country, right? I'm from Canada even. Like, people say Canada, United States were different. We're basically the same thing, alright? Give me a break. These two countries, when they were built off of strong Christian values, society was thriving, right? People, when they would see other people as they walked, right? Their neighbors, everyone knew their neighbors. Everyone loved each other, right? You would go to the store and you could say hi to the person that owns the store, you know, because everyone knows each other. It was so beautiful back then. And it still could be today. But because of this secular belief in today's society, this pure hatred for each other, this mistrust of each other, because you think there's no reason for anyone to love you rather than the fact that they're trying to get into your pants or get something that you want. Because of this belief that's ongoing in society, right? Because there's no reason for anyone else to love you just as much as you shouldn't. Just as much as there's no reason for you to love someone else, right? There's no reason for us to hold strong morals and like love each other because there is no God, because you guys believe there is no God. Open the Bible, man. See what you're missing out on. See what we had. And try to bring that back. Try to bring it back if we can. I believe we still can. Anything is possible with God's strength. Anything is possible. This video wasn't scripted. It was just a bit of a rant because I'm getting really pissed with what's going on today. And with the solution being so obviously right in front of us, yet we're denying it. Coming up with anything else to say, oh, it's because of this. No, it's because of this. No, it's because we don't prioritize God into today's society. That's the only reason why. It's the only reason why. Only reason. So think about what I said. Actually open on Bible instead of just hearing what media tells you, right? Take the stick up your ass and take it out and humble yourself. Stop being so stubborn and hear it out. Humble yourself and hear it out. All right, that's all I have to say. Lord, forgive my swearing, all right? It's never justified. And I say sorry to anyone else that it may have offended you by my improper speech. But I'll do better. And I admit that that wasn't good what I did, the way I spoke, like swearing and stuff. But there is no buts. I could have come up with a better way to get this point across, but I hope this point did come across. Alright? Think about it. Open a Bible. See the values we had then. See the values we have now. Question why you should have morals. Why you should love one another. Question those things. And see, and open your Bible. Look what it has to tell you. Alright? And when you see these lessons, don't just take them for what they are, right? Look into them. When you see something's a sin, something's wrong, alright? Look into why, alright? Don't blindly just accept it. Look into why. Why is this wrong? Why is adultery wrong? Why is it wrong to not accept the body that God's blessed you with? Why should a man be with a woman? Alright? Look into these things. Don't just come in with your own beliefs and try to fit it into your nutshell. Alright? Try to understand it. Question it. See? Try to understand it. Alright? And see why these certain things are laws. Why these certain things are wrong and good. Why are these morals better than the ones we have today? I'm going to leave it at that. Alright? I'll pray for everyone here. Alright? And I hope God blesses everyone that watches this video and opens your hearts to open your eyes to see what's actually happening today. Why society's so bad. Alright? And why we need God. Alright? And I promise you'll find your answers. I'm not saying you might, you will. It gives you the answers to all your questions. Alright? In your heart. I'll leave it at that. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Take care, everyone.